Hi everyone, back at the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a reaction video. Newcastle United have made some signings and lost some players, as you've obviously seen over the last 48 hours of madness from that club we call United. Yes, as we all know now, young Elliot Anderson has moved to Nottingham Forest for 35 million quid. And as well as that, we've actually had a player coming in through the doors. And it was quite funny. We were all speculating who it could be. Would it be Morgan Gibbs-White? Would it be Anthony Elanga? No, it wasn't. It was actually a goalkeeper. There was this fella here, Odysseas Vlachodimos, who's a Greek goalkeeper, 42 caps for Greece. He's played for some big clubs, to be fair, and played for likes of Benfica. So an experienced goalkeeper. I think he's 30 years old. You know, when I first looked at it, I was a bit like, oh, fucking hell, you know, they were not doing any good business and get one of Forest's kind of key attacking players. But going back to this, I think this is the keeper strategy, which we'll go into in a minute. But so that deal has been done. Obviously, Yankuba Minteh has also gone to Brighton for 33 million quid. So on the surface of it, if you look at it, Newcastle United have sold two young kids. Neither of them have scored a goal for Newcastle United for the thick end of, you know, nearly 70 million quid. So when you look at it on paper, it looks like a decent deal. I personally think Elliot Anderson, losing him is a big blow. I think he's Newcastle through and through. I think he was just coming into a game. Even our very own Shay Given, the legend that is Shay Given, said he thinks it's a bad move for the club. And this just shows you how shit PSR is and how you've got to lose key young players like that just to balance the books, so you don't lose a superstar like Anthony Gordon, who's been linked to Liverpool, Bruno Guimaraes, who's been linked to every fucker, and Alexander Isak, who's been linked to Chelsea. So if it means keeping them three players and losing Elliot, unfortunately, you've got to look at it and maybe think, okay, we understand it. I'm fucking bored of talking about PSR, but I'm so sick of it. It's an absolute bullshit rule and regulation put in by men in suits to keep the top six exactly where they are, and it just fucking annoys me. It really, really does. And we've lost a key player here, and it isn't just us, there's other teams who are losing key young quality players, you know, and it will be something they'll regret one day, and it's all to do with this bullshit rule of the Premier League trying to look like they're being fair when they're not being fair whatsoever. So those are the two players out in terms of Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minteh. You know, what they may go on to be will be anybody's guess, but I would hazard a guess both of them will go on to be very good players, and we might look back at this and go, oh, fucking hell, shame we lost them, really. But so, you know, the goalkeeper's come in there, Odysseas, who sounds like a Greek tragedy, so he's not a Greek tragedy. He's come in, and also, bizarrely, John Ruddy has come in. It was speculated for a while. 37-year-old, I think it is, John Ruddy, former England keeper for a period of time, I think, Norwich goalkeeper the majority of his career. Very much, I think, just to fatten out the goalkeeping personnel. So it looks like Eddie's determined to have four goalkeepers, and now he has four goalkeepers with Nick Pope, Odysseas, Mark Gillespie, and John Ruddy. Now that should really put the end to speculation over Mamadashvili, who's been amazing for Georgia, and James Trafford, who apparently Burnley wanted 20 million quid for, which I think was daylight fucking robbery, to be honest with you. I don't think the kid is as good of a goalkeeper as a lot of people are saying that he is. You know, social media, fuck me, honestly, is awash with trainee accountants and scouts that tell you players are fantastic when I've never even seen them fucking play. I'm done with it. We are on social media as ever more, but from here on in, it'll be Mark you see posted, not me, because I can't be arsed with it. A bunch of wet wipes on there trying to tell you Miggy Almiron's this fucking brilliant player when you question why we've sold this talented youngster in Yankuba Minteh. You know, you talk about players being linked to the club that you don't find very ambitious, in the shape of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know, and James Trafford, and then they go back at you again. I just can't be arsed. It's exhausting. You know, go back in your mum's basement and play Dungeons and Dragons, you piss-smelling losers. So yeah, going back to this window in a whole, a little mini rant there. Going back to this window as a whole so far, it does seem a little bit underwhelming, but I think Newcastle have had to do this to balance the books for PSR, for FFP. Now, really, the window should start here, and I've kind of transformed my thinking a little bit about this. I was quite doomy, gloomy, negative about it. I am still bored of hearing about PSR, so I'm quite glad it's fucked off away for a bit, at least another 3 years. Hopefully we don't have to hear about that shit. But I'm hoping that Newcastle are going to have a really ambitious window, and balancing the books here will enable them to do so. Losing Yankuba Minteh and certainly Elliot Anderson is a big blow, but the midfield position is really heavy if you think about it. We've got Joe Linton sign a new deal. Bruno hopefully will stay. Tonali come back in. Joe Willock, if he can get his his fitness problems right. Louis Miley looks a great player, and Sean Longstaff, is a reliable player. I know he gets a lot of shit off people, but look at his stats last season. Didn't have as bad of a season as many of us thought. He was playing with a knackered ankle injury for most of the season. If Sean can get back to a level of fitness and put in the graft that he does, he will be a decent player to have in the midfield. And that area looks really kind of stacked out. So I understand selling Elliot, certainly over the likes of Louis Miley. I would have been livid if we sold him. To do what he's done at the age of 17 last season shows me there's a real player in there, and I think he will be absolutely fucking brilliant for Newcastle and get into the England squad as well within the next couple of years if he keeps progressing the way that he is. But looking at the rest of the pitch, there's massive areas we need to develop and improve on. We need a right-sided centre-half because Fabian Schär is not getting any younger, as good as he still is. There's been players linked to that position, Tamori, Malik Thiaw, players like that. They will hopefully be players we can bring in now with this money. Lewis Hall has signed permanently, so that's something else to declare. We all knew it was coming, but it's good to see. I think Lewis Hall deserves a run at left back, and he hopefully will make that position his own moving forward. But we need to fill that right-sided centre back position. We need a right winger. Now maybe this moving around money, jiggery-pokery money, and not blowing 20 million quid or 40 million quid in the keeper, we can spend that on a right winger. Somebody like a Pedro Neto, somebody like an Mbembo, somebody who can give us some real quality in the starting 11, because that's what we need, real quality. These stories about Anthony Gordon, I hope they were just bullshit put out there. I really hope it does not turn Anthony Gordon's head and he doesn't start looking to move away from the club, because he's vital to us, he's key for us. But the window should really start now for Newcastle in the 1st of July. PSR deadline is been and gone. Let's hope we get some of these big quality targets into the club to improve the squad, because we really need to try and finish in the top 4 next season to get back on that Champions League train. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the transfer window so far. Are you a bit underwhelmed? Are you feeling excited? Do you think there's going to be some real good players to come? Are we maybe just looking a bit too much into it? How do you feel about the keepers? We have 4 goalkeepers now. Are you comfortable with that? Are you happy we didn't blow 40 million quid on Mamadashvili? We might still do, who knows? Maybe Nick Pope might go to Ipswich. That was the story earlier on the transfer window. But give us a comment, guys. We'll always do a best reply. We don't ignore you like some other channels. We're so close to 8k now. I think we're within 20, I think. So smash that button, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos when they come up. We'll be back with some more rumour has it soon. I'm sure some more rants, as somebody said the other day. There's been a few rants recently because there's a few things annoying me. But hopefully Newcastle get this window right, and I won't be ranting. I'll be coming on saying how great it's been. Have a belt, everyone. We'll see you later. Cheers.